bold journalism.
But Drew Hernandez is a strong-minded individual.
Exposing lawlessness.
Drew Hernandez, who is ideological.
Finding the truth.
And use the word Antifa.
This is what they do.
Battling
They're
mainstream
liars. The woke mob, all they can do is lie.
These are the front lines.
Welcome to Frontlines. I'm your host, Drew Hernandez. Hope you all had an amazing 4th of July celebrating Americans' freedom and independence, but it wasn't peaceful everywhere. And today I'm talking all about the deadly violence in the streets of Chicago. Plus, I'll break down the police body cam footage from the Jayland Walker shooting that was unveiled over the weekend as well. Before we get into that, a quick reminder, there's still time to sign up for TPUSA Student Action Summit in Tampa, Florida. It's happening July 22nd through the 24th. You can hear from awesome speakers like Senator Ted Cruz, Fox News' Greg Gutfeld, and others as well. You'll get a chance to see me in action on Media Row. We will be filming live episodes and episodes of Frontlines. You guys can come meet me and watch that as well and mingle with other like-minded individuals. Right now, use code DREW, D-R-E-W, for 25% off your ticket. You don't want to miss this huge gathering of patriots. I'll see every single one of you there. And by the way, to all my thought criminals out there, Frontlines is now available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and other streaming services. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave a 5-star review right now. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, smash that like button, hit the notification bell, and share this video everywhere. But if you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, or anywhere else, please reshare this transmission right now. My name is Drew Hernandez, and you are now on the front lines. Well, let's dig directly into this. Over the weekend, the Akron, Ohio police revealed the Jayland Walker shooting police body cam footage, and immediately disinformation and misinformation was flooding social media, flooding the media. The facts were being left out. I just want to bring you guys back up to speed with what took place in this body cam footage. The Post Millennial reported over the weekend that Jayland Walker fired at Akron police before officers shot him. I'm going to show you guys that footage right now, but to give you guys some details and context, here it is. The Akron Police Department released graphic body cam footage on Sunday, which revealed shocking details surrounding the fatal officer-involved shooting of suspect Jayland Walker, which was 25 years old and died on Monday. This is last Monday, after Akron police officers allegedly fired more than 60 rounds of bullets into his body after evading police, evading police during a pursuit. Akron Police Chief Stephen Millett said during a Sunday press conference that Walker had fired at officers from his vehicle on the expressway when they attempted to make a traffic stop. Okay, I'm going to get into this and give you guys my take after showing you the footage. I'm going to give you all the facts, what happened, a routine traffic stop. This guy decides to take police on a high-speed pursuit on the highway, fires his weapon on the highway, putting people's lives in danger, continues to lead them through a high-speed pursuit through a residential area, ultimately ditching the car, trying to run away, resisting officers, disobeying officers' commands to surrender, and resisting tasers as well, all with a ski mask on, and ultimately got him shot and killed by multiple police officers. Well, let's take a look at some of that body cam footage. Let's run video A1. This is Jayland shooting outside of a car, his car, during a high-speed pursuit on a highway. Take a look.
Officers initiated a vehicle pursuit as the vehicle was nearing the East Talmadge Avenue entrance ramp to Route 8 southbound. Approximately 40 seconds after the driver of the vehicle fled from the attempted stop, a sound consistent with a gunshot can be heard on the body-worn cameras of the officers. Officers notified dispatch that a shot came out of the suspect's car door.
Getting on to 8 south of Talmadge. The reason for stop was traffic and equipment violation. Shots fired. All cars. And effect. 21 shots fired. That vehicle just had a shot come out of its door.
At the time of the sound, a flash of light can be seen along the driver's side of the suspect vehicle.
And there's the zoom in. You can see the shot. And that is the first video proving that Jayland literally led police on a high-speed pursuit and then fired a firearm outside of the window while police were following him. Definitely a threat to society and the surrounding community. Anyone that is acting like this is obviously a threat. So it doesn't stop there. As he led them on a high-speed police pursuit, it ultimately ended with him ditching the car while it was still moving, gets out of the other side of the car with a black ski mask on. Police have no idea if he actually has a gun on him at this point. Let's not miss this, okay? Let's not miss this. Police just know that he's already fired his firearm outside of the car window. So now he ditches the car, jumps out of his car, attempts to flee police, resists tasers, and commands to surrender. They gave this guy an opportunity to live and to surrender, and they ultimately take him down. I'm going to give you guys a graphic warning. This is a graphic video. Parker, let's run video A2 and video A3. This is the end of Jayland Walker's life for being an idiot.
The vehicle pursuit continued on the expressway for several minutes, and the suspect vehicle exited onto the Archwood Avenue ramp. The pursuit proceeded through several city streets until he neared the intersection of East Wilbeth Road and Claremont Street. At that point, the driver slowed down and exited through the passenger side door of the moving vehicle wearing a ski mask. The suspect fled from the vehicle on foot, turning and facing officers momentarily. He continued to run, evading arrest. Officers attempted to safely take the suspect into custody by deploying their tasers. The deployment of tasers was unsuccessful, and the suspect continued to flee on foot. As the foot chase reached the nearby parking lot, the suspect stopped and quickly turned towards the pursuing officers. Under visual inspection of the suspect's vehicle, a handgun, a loaded magazine for a handgun, and what appears to be a gold wedding ring were observed in plain view on the driver's seat.
Hear the tasers? And apparently Jayland Walker was in another chase. Police identified his car, and he fled 24 hours before this chase took place. This was not a good guy. This was not some kind of peaceful person that was being hunted down by police officers because he was black. Okay, because immediately that's where BLM goes. Immediately that's where the SJWs go. And Black Lives Matter immediately took to Twitter, wasting no time at all, and were tweeting things like this. They shot him 60 times. 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 He was murdered by Akron police. Say his name. Hashtag Jayland Walker. And then the great Sean King, of course, the race grifter, has to weigh in and warp people's minds without giving them the facts on Instagram. This is what Sean King put on Instagram. That's Jayland Walker. I just learned that the police in Akron, Ohio, murdered this young brother, a sweet soul and a DoorDash driver, in as brutal of a fashion as I've ever seen. 8 police officers, 7 which were white, fired a staggering 90 bullets at Jayland, shooting him at least 60 times in the face, chest, legs, back, feet, and everywhere else you can think of. Even when he fell down, they kept shooting. They shot him 60 times. His body was mutilated as a human could be. Okay, they don't give you the facts. Immediately, BLM, the Sean Kings of the world, the race grifters, they try to radicalize all the SJWs and the domestic terrorists in order to get them to riot without any of the facts, without explaining at all the context as to what led up to this guy literally getting killed and shot. Jayland Walker did everything necessary, Literally everything necessary to get yourself shot and killed by police officers. And protesters in Akron, Ohio, these dummy protesters, without knowing any of the facts, were running around Akron, Ohio, saying he got murdered and literally blaming the police officers for the police pursuit and not Jayland. Literally, take a look at this video.
They continue to chase him through residential areas where houses and stuff is at. So much danger. For a tail light? Are you serious right now? For a tail light? You chase him from one side of town all the way to Firestone Park where houses and stuff is at, where elderly people is at? How is that fair? The police can do just whatever they want. It's okay. They can take our children's lives and think it's okay. My heart goes out to the Walker family.
Yeah, somehow it's the police officer's fault. It's their fault because, you know, he led them on a high-speed pursuit. It's not Jayland's fault. It is the cops' fault for doing their job and going after a criminal that was a threat to society, firing a firearm outside of the window irresponsibly, possibly could have killed somebody on the highway, but nope. It's not Jayland's fault. It's the cops' fault. That's why I call these people woketards, man. It's literally annoying. These people are stupid. But anyways, these people end up rioting overnight. Let's play video 810. This is people rioting over this idiot that got himself killed by police for being a criminal. Take a look. So yes, they attempted to tear down the barricades in front of the police headquarters in Akron, Ohio. They lit fires. That's arson. They were breaking windows. An individual, a protester, a local journalist said, was taking a bat and breaking windows to trucks. And somehow that's protesting. But we know that these people don't deal with facts. They don't deal with reality. They don't even want to listen to the context as to what happened with this guy to understand that he's a criminal and got himself killed. Some people believe it's a possible suicide by cop because apparently people have been interviewing some of his family members or girlfriends saying this guy was going through a lot. Is that maybe why he left his ring behind? But just to clarify, because the media came out immediately and started saying Jayland was an unarmed black man that police officers gunned down, over 60 bullets to his body. Overkill. He wasn't even armed. Why did they do that? It's because he's black. No. The guy fired a firearm in the middle of a high-speed pursuit on the highway, led police officers through a high-speed pursuit through a residential area, literally ditches the car while it's still moving out the opposite side of the car, doing all of that with a black ski mask on. What are police officers supposed to think? That he's just going to peacefully surrender the firearm in the vehicle and just hope that he's going to do that? No, the police officers on record, let them know, let HQ know, let everyone know in the area that there have been shots fired. That means there's a threat in the area. This guy's crazy. He's lost his mind. He's got a black ski mask on. So when he jumps out of a moving vehicle to evade them after resisting their tasers and commands to peacefully surrender, what are they supposed to do? What are they supposed to do? Are they just going to think this is some good guy that's just going to stop doing what he's doing? I don't know. Maybe the social workers would have done a better job. Do you think maybe if we sent in some of the social workers, they could have de-escalated Jayland? I don't know. That's what they suggest. This guy was unarmed when he ditched his firearm in the car without police officers knowing after he already fired it in the middle of a highway. In the middle of a high-speed pursuit. What are police supposed to think? This guy did everything necessary. everything necessary to get himself killed. I don't know. Maybe it was a suicide by cop. Who knows? All I know is that Jayland is not some kind of victim here, and Jayland is not some kind of good guy that we should just prop up like some kind of superhero, that, oh, he just lost his life. It's so tragic. These white supremacist cops just decided to hunt down another black man. So tragic. We already know what BLM will do. They'll probably try and exploit this guy. I don't know, maybe for another couple mil and get another couple mansions. That's what they do. Well, we are going to transition to Chicago and all of the violence that took place over the 4th of July weekend and the shooting that took place in Highland. The shooter is, all these details are coming out. The great Gary Franchi with the Next News Network is going to be with me on the other side, so stay with us.
Yes, we're going to take your AR-15, your AK-47.
Abortion, I salute you! Women, if you need an abortion, get one!
You said police defund!
Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on to the next generation. Activate freedom. Join Patriot Mobile.
Well, 4th of July is meant to be for families celebrating American independence. Regardless of what color you are or religious creed, we celebrate the independence and the freedom of this country. It's supposed to be family-oriented and a time of celebration. Not if you're in a big blue area where if you celebrate, you're accused of being a racist, even if you're black. Or if you're in Chicago, everyone's just getting killed and murdered and shot. Over the weekend, Breitbart reports that at least 71 shot over the July 4th weekend in Mayor Lori Lightfoot's Chicago. That is a huge number. Breitbart News noted at least 54 people were shot Friday into Monday morning alone as the holiday weekend progressed. 7 of those 54 shooting victims succumbed to their wounds. Now, that's just Chicago as a whole. Over 4th of July weekend, I don't want to get these numbers conflicted and confused, but let's transition into probably the breaking news over the weekend, the Chicago Highland shooting. The Post-Millennial reported police reveal Highland Park suspect wore women's clothing during the attack. Police provided the public with details on Tuesday at a press conference where they said that the rifle that was used was legally purchased. Robert Crimo III, 21 years old, allegedly opened fire from a rooftop during the 4th of July parade in Highland Park, Illinois, and evaded arrest for hours. Police said that Primo wore women's clothing in an attempt to conceal himself, specifically to help cover up his face tattoos. He may have worn a wig during the shooting as well. Multiple people died. I believe the last time I saw the death count was around 6. I think 6 people died. That might have risen since the recording of this transmission. This is a developing situation from over the weekend. Obviously, multiple people were hurt. The footage was astounding, very scary to see. I think we have that clip, Parker. Can we run that clip? The moment when this guy started firing? Yeah, take a look at this. Horrible situation.
I can't believe
Horrible situation. Joining me now is the great Gary Franchi with the Next News Network, the main anchor, the main man on the Next News Network. Gary, it's an honor to have you on my show, man. I've been wanting to work with you for the longest time. A lot of people don't realize you were one of the first people to start sharing some of my reporting. I think it was like during the Straight Pride Parade in like 2019 when I was a nobody. When I, literally nobody knew who I was, and I was like trying to post something that was, worthy. And the Next News Network were literally the only ones that like was covering some of my stuff. So I love you, man. Thank you it's an honor to have you on my show, bro. It really is.
Well, thanks for having me. I do remember that that moment of reporting of the Straight Pride Parade caused quite a stir, such as what we're seeing happen, the tragedy in Highland Park, which is just a stone's throw from my house, actually. It was a terrifying moment for our family once we saw the headlines starting to roll across the screen. We even gave our entire crew the day off so they could go celebrate Independence Day. Ironically, speaking to some of our producers, I said, let's just give everyone some time to breathe and celebrate independence. And one of my producers said, yeah, it's going to be a slow news day anyway. And then all of a sudden, we're hearing about this active shooter in Highland Park. I mean, I have family in Highland Park. I was actually supposed to attend a Skokie parade that morning, but the circumstances didn't permit me to do so. Regardless, the whole thing is a tragedy. And the sad thing we're seeing now is, of course, the fallout from the event. And this has become a template for every single mass shooter event. First of all, they start screaming for more gun laws, which, of course, we all know more gun laws are not going to prevent the evil that is within the hearts of these people, the evil that's permeating the soul, which is because of the conditioning that we're seeing coming down through social media, through news reports, through just the culture, a shift that we're seeing in this country that's being pushed by the liberal agenda. Also, what we're noticing too is, as we're seeing on Twitter, people pushing back saying, we posted this guy's arrested. And then suddenly everyone's like, well, we call him Antifa. And everyone's like, no, he's a Trump supporter. When clearly imagery that his own social media posts show tell a completely different story.
Yeah, Gary, break that down for us, because I know you sent us a lot of intel regarding this shooter, some of the images, some of what he's been involved in. I mean, we've seen some of the videos. This guy is obviously a freak. He's got that weird SJW, hairdo that all these people, all these baby killers and psychopaths have out there. Break down for us, Gary, some of the intel that you have on this guy, what we know right now. What do we know about this guy? Well,
first off, it was very difficult to track a lot of this information because the moment his name was released, the social media accounts, websites started scrubbing everything. In fact, when I did find out his name, we started searching and we came across his grandfather's obituary. Okay, Robert Credo Sr. And then suddenly I send the link off to a friend. I said, check this out. And because the obituary tells you his father's name, his mother's name, his siblings' name, there's personal details that are there. You can follow those leads out. So what ended up happening was, people texting me back, that has been removed, like within moments of me sharing it. Wow. So it's very difficult to track the information. But of course, some of the sources on the ground, people sending me links to images and photographs were very revealing, especially like you mentioned, the stereotypical SJW haircut that this person had. I don't know any Trump supporters that carry that type of hairstyle.
Not at all.
Regardless, you also have these images, and this is where the left is hanging their hat on this Trump supporting narrative for whatever reason they want to make it seem as though Trump was behind this and he loved Trump, so therefore he's a mass shooter. That's the narrative they want to push because it continues to push this radical right-wing, gun white supremacist narrative. So
and that's what they always do.
That's what they always do. Mm-hmm. So, but what we see here, and I want to make it very clear. So the picture you're showing here is him dressed as Waldo. Where's Waldo? All right. He's doing that to troll. He's doing that so he can get these pictures and he can send them off to his friends and say, hey, look at me. I'm making fun of these people. I'm Waldo, right? And then you have the other picture where he's draped in the Trump flag. Now, he's not doing it in a prideful manner where he's pounding his chest and he's saying, oh, hey, look at me. I'm a proud Trump supporter. Mm-hmm. He's doing it as though he's mocking the very flag that's on his back. So when all these people on Twitter and the social media, they want to point to these images as absolute proof that he's at a Trump rally, it's only them being disconnected from their own reality to prove their own narrative. But just because he had a Trump flag on. Now, when we take a look at some of the other images, we see him in full black bloc attire. We see him wearing, a helmet with a GoPro camera. And then what I think is the most shocking image that you'll see, if you go through some of the music videos of his rap career that have been posted, A lot of people have been reposting them. We've been able to secure some of the archives. What you'll see is there's an image of him, very disturbing. He's sitting on a bed, and over his shoulder, you can clearly see a headline about Lee Harvey Oswald being shot.
Wow.
While in a police transport. Now, of course, that's a historical event. Now, that's the picture. You can see it there, and I think we have a zoomed in one for you. Now, what I personally believe, now this is just my take, is that he had a fantasy, an Oswaldian fantasy about assassinating the president. In fact, if you look at some of the imagery from the sketchwork imagery within his music videos, you can actually see there's one image where he's holding this gun. And then you see, yes, there's the image of him holding the gun. And then there's another image where you see him being shot by the police, suicide by cop. So when that is being displayed, that's his fantasy. That's what he wants. And that's exactly how Oswald went out as well. He was shot during a police transport. Now, I'm getting to my point here. There was one video that was posted of him standing outside of a Trump motorcade as President Trump was leaving an airfield. Now, I didn't get you a screenshot of the very last few frames when he turns the camera on himself, but if you watch that video, you can clearly see the evil and the cynical desire in his eyes. That he wants. Okay, here's the video. It's only 30 seconds long, but if you jump towards the end and you can freeze frame that shot, you'll see him. Okay, so here's the motorcade coming out. And then right towards the end, you'll see him, the camera turns on him, and you see this totally evil look. And I believe that he did, there it is. There he is. He's just like, haha, look at me. He's dreaming about assassinating the president. Now, if you think about these people, now, if you let me just continue, if you think about what these people do, these people have no life. They have no purpose and no meaning. So they go ahead and they attach themselves to these grandiose events. In his case, Oswald Trump assassinated Trump. Now, maybe he never got a chance to do that, thankfully. But what did he do? What was the next best thing for him to do? Take to a rooftop on a 4th of July parade and give his life meaning by killing people at a 4th of July parade. So he went from being absolutely nobody, a zero, to being a villain with actual meaning. And these people do it because they want to create some kind of value to their life, no matter what the cost is and no matter how many people are affected.
And we know a lot of these people, these active shooters, these psychopaths, regardless of their politics, a lot of them do want that. They want like a movie made about them. They want a book written about them. They want the clout. They want the fame, especially this next generation where you could immediately become a celebrity on TikTok like that. So, I mean, it wouldn't be surprised if he's one of those mentally ill individuals that just had this sick, twisted desire of death and to kill people, but also has this political spin as well. I think you sent us one of these pictures. I think it's B-19, guys. He had a socialist tattoo as well, Gary?
Yeah, that was an image that was floating around social media. Apparently that is a tattoo on his arm. And this is, of course, the same tattoo that represents a social democrat liberal ideology.
Absolutely. Gary, what would your message right now before we let you go? Thank you for joining me, man. What would your message be to people? Because I always try to speak to people that are like apolitical, non-political. They're just kind of like watching this stuff, forming an opinion. Because immediately the mainstream media is so powerful that immediately, like you said, the gun grabbers, immediately. It's a reason to take away everybody's gun in the United States of America. But that's not the answer. What would your message be to those people, Gary, that are sitting there kind of buying into that stuff?
Well, if you look at the headline I sent you from MSN.com, you'll see that the media is immediately out there doing this spin, trying to take this narrative that this is a Trump supporter. The main issue here is that whether he's Antifa, whether he's a Trump supporter, is that he's clearly mentally disturbed. And we need to get to the root problem of these types of situations, which is not the fact that there are guns on the streets, is that we have a problem with the heart of mankind.
Yes.
Okay, there's an evil that's permeating this world, and we have to fight that evil with love and compassion and care so that we don't have these events again. And that's really, we have to address the root problem, and more laws are not going to do that.
Absolutely. Totally agree. Gary from the Next News Network, man, I love you, man. It's an honor to have you on my show. I'm just saying right now, man, if people aren't following you and watching you, if they're following and watching me, I'd be shocked. But where can people follow you on Twitter and find you guys on YouTube?
Well, that's my Twitter account. You can also find my my Next News Network Twitter account, YouTube, Next News Network. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on all the different socials. We're on Truth. We're on Getter. We're on all of them. So you can track us at all those platforms, and we hope that you will.
Awesome. Gary, have a great show today, man. I'll text you later. Thank you for joining me.
All right. Thank you.
All righty. Peace out. All right, America. Well, there you have it. Tragic times. Please pray for the families. But at the end of the day, the answer is not to disarm the public. The answer is not to disarm responsible gun-owning, Second Amendment-abiding individuals that have the God-given right to defend themselves from a psychopath just like that. This individual that decided to murder people on the 4th of July. No, we all become sitting ducks if we go that route and listen to the left. We're not going to do that. My name is Drew Hernandez. These are the Front Lines. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next one.